The Fateful Flight. On December 24, 1971, 17-year-old Julianne Koch boarded a flight with her mother, Maria, on Lancer Flight 508. The hour-long flight was supposed to be a routine journey from Lima to Pucallpa, where Julianne's father, Hans Wilhelm Koch, was working at the Panguana Biological Station. Julianne, who was studying to become a zoologist like her father, was excited about the trip and the prospect of spending Christmas with her family. As the plane soared through the skies, Julianne and her mother chatted and enjoyed the scenic views of the Peruvian landscape below. However, their joy was short-lived. Around 60 minutes after takeoff, a massive thunderstorm rolled in, bringing with it strong turbulence and a bolt of lightning that would change their lives forever. The plane crash. The lightning strike hit the plane with devastating force, causing the wing to catch fire and separate from the aircraft. The plane began to disintegrate in midair, and Julianne felt the world around her crumbling. Her mother's last words still echo in her mind, "Now it's all over." In the chaos that followed, Julianne was sucked out of the plane, still strapped to her seat. She fell 10,000 feet through the air, the cold wind rushing past her face, and the darkness of the night enveloping her. The impact of the fall was immense, but miraculously, Julianne survived, though she was severely injured. Awakening in the jungle. 10 hours later, Julianne awoke on the jungle floor, dazed and disoriented. She was suffering from a broken collarbone, a deep cut on her arm, and severe concussion. Her eye was damaged due to the sudden change in air pressure, causing capillaries to burst. Despite her injuries, Julianne was alive, but she had no idea where she was or what had happened to her mother. The first day, Julianne spent the rest of the day dropping in and out of consciousness, too injured and weak to remove herself from the seat she was still strapped to. The jungle around her was dense and unforgiving, with sounds of exotic birds and animals that seemed to come from all directions. As night began to fall, Julianne's hopes of being rescued began to dwindle. The search for her mother. On the second day, Julianne finally managed to free herself from the seat. She was determined to find her mother, but as she searched the surrounding area, she realized she was alone. The silence was deafening, and the only signs of the crash were the scattered debris, and the eerie feeling that she was being watched. With a heavy heart, Julianne continued her search, calling out for her mother but receiving no response. The jungle seemed to swallow her voice, leaving her with only the echoes of her own desperation. Survival in the jungle. As the days passed, Julianne had to rely on her instincts and whatever resources she could find to survive. She remembered her father's advice to follow water downstream, as it would likely lead her to civilization. With this in mind, she set out to find a river or stream. The journey was arduous, with Julianne navigating through dense foliage, avoiding deadly creatures, and dealing with her injuries. She found a small well, which became her lifeline, providing her with water and a sense of hope. However, the well also brought its own set of challenges, as Julianne soon discovered she was not alone in the jungle. Encounters with the jungle. As Julianne trekked through the jungle, she encountered various dangers, from venomous snakes to swarms of biting insects. Her injuries made every step a painful ordeal, but she pressed on, driven by the hope of finding help. One of the most harrowing experiences was when Julianne discovered a maggot infestation in her wound. The pain and disgust were overwhelming, but she knew she had to keep moving if she wanted to survive. The ninth day. After 9 days of trekking through the dense and unforgiving jungle, Julianne Cope's hopes of being rescued were beginning to dwindle. Her injuries, including a broken collarbone, a deep cut on her arm, and an eye injury, were still painful, and the constant battle against insects and the harsh environment had taken a significant toll on her physical and mental health. On the 9th day, Julianne stumbled upon a hut deep in the jungle. Exhausted and feeling hopeless, she decided to rest there, thinking that she might die alone in the jungle. The hut was a simple structure, likely used by local loggers or hunters, but it provided her with some shelter from the elements. The logger's discovery. As Julianne rested in the hut, she heard voices. Initially, she was frightened, unsure of who these people were or what their intentions might be. However, the voices belonged to 3 Peruvian loggers who lived in the hut. They were startled by her appearance, mistaking her for a water spirit called Yemanja, a mythological figure from their local folklore. Despite their initial fear, the loggers soon realized that Julianne was a real person in dire need of help. They approached her cautiously and began to communicate. Julianne, though weak and injured, was relieved to finally have human contact after days of isolation. Rescue and medical help. The loggers took Julianne in and provided her with basic care. They poured gasoline onto her wound to kill the botfly larvae that had infested her injured arm. A painful but necessary procedure to prevent further infection. After spending the night with the loggers, they took her by boat to a nearby town. The journey by boat was arduous, lasting about 11 hours, but it marked the beginning of the end of Julianne's ordeal. Once they reached the town, she was taken to a local hospital where she received medical treatment for her injuries. Reunion with her father. After being treated for her injuries, Julianne was finally reunited with her father, Hans Wilhelm Koch. This reunion was bittersweet, as Julianne had to confront the reality that her mother, Maria, had not survived the crash. Her mother's body was later discovered on January 12, 1972, during the search operations that Julianne helped with. Aftermath and recovery. Julianne's survival and rescue were nothing short of miraculous, but the aftermath was filled with grief and reflection. She had to come to terms with the loss of her mother and the trauma she had endured. The experience left her with nightmares and a deep sense of loss, but it also instilled in her a profound appreciation for life and a strong will to survive. Julianne eventually returned to Germany, where she fully recovered from her physical injuries.